You've been training so hard and the coronavirus either canceled or postponed your race so far into the future that it feels like next season. You're angry, you're frustrated, you're upset, you're sad. Yeah, it freaking sucks. Here's what to do about it. Hey, Coach Eric here. And if you're like me, when your A race got canceled, you were angry, then you were sad, and then you were mad at yourself for being angry about a race getting canceled and caring so much about that when they're in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. But it's totally okay to be upset. I don't know about you, but I live for some of this stuff. We just got to put a time limit on it. A day, a week, then you got to look to the future because you're not going to let this virus get the best of you. It's so much easier to stay positive and focused when you're training and everything else around you is going great. But what do you do when it's clearly not? Number one option is recover. This situation has been mentally and emotionally exhausting, and it's not going away very quickly. No one wants it to be like this, but that's how it is. Take care of your family, take a bit of time off, and really just pretend like, what would you do if you just had your race? You'd take a day off, maybe a couple days off, depending on your fitness, depending on where you are in your season and your coach, but don't lose so much time that you start to lose fitness. Then do some shorter, easier workouts to help you mentally and physically recharge. And if you really don't feel like training at all, a few days away can help that heart grow fonder to make you miss that training and get back to it. After all, you're not doing all this training just for one race. This is part of your lifestyle. As soon as your race is over, even if it did happen, you would start over and start training for the next race. So even though it sucks, think of it that way, recover, and make a new plan for the next one. Backing off a bit on training might actually help your immune system as well, which is extremely important at this time right now. If you are in a huge training block, approaching your A race, when you're doing that much training, depending on your current volume, you actually take a hit to your immune system and are more susceptible during those extremely high training times to just any virus or bacteria. So doing more of a moderate, 30 to 60 minutes, 5-6 days a week actually enhances the immune system versus no exercise at all. You don't want to have either extreme. So as far as immunity and the immune system, moderate level training can really enhance that as well. Option 2 is skills. Work on those skills that you are always too busy training to work on. Top 3, learning to change a tire. If you already know how, that's fantastic. Is it going to take you 25 minutes in the race if it goes flat, or is it going to take you less than 5 minutes? No excuse now for not really being able to do that well. Number 2 is transitions. We all could learn to practice transitions more, whether that be T1 or T2. Get good at both. You could also practice taking apart your bike, putting it in a bike case for your next travel trip because you are going to deserve an awesome vacation. And a lot of you, I know, don't go out of state on races because it's too much of a hassle to take your bike apart and put it in a case and put it back together. But now you're going to do that 5 times over the next couple of weeks, and so you're going to feel confident doing that. And if you don't want to do any of those triathlete skills, you're stuck at home, well then learn some nunchuck skills. Learn some new skill. Number 3 is update your goals. We now have more time to train for the race. We're going to be faster and more fit than we thought we were going to be. How often do we say, gosh, I'm not quite ready for this race? Well, this next race, we have no excuse. We are going to be ready for it. So adjust those goals, both short-term and long-term, and make them SMART goals. Number 4 is visualize your workouts and your race success. You've heard me talk before about how the brain can't tell the difference between you physically doing something and you visualizing yourself doing something. So the pool is closed. You don't have any swim bands to strengthen your arms. You're stuck at home. Lie on the floor, the couch, and visualize what you want to do. So visualize yourself at the start of the race and the hand entry and how you're going to breathe in the open water. And then you come to a buoy. And how are you going to go around that buoy? And if someone's swimming close to you, what are you going to do? If you visualize all these things, when they actually happen in your race, your brain will be familiar with it. You'll be more confident. You'll know what to do. You do this for all 3 disciplines. The bike, visualize yourself running up a hill, changing your cadence to a faster cadence, all those things. So visualize, visualize, visualize. It works. The best athletes do it. And now you actually have time to do it. It will enhance your game. Number 5 is dial in your nutrition and sleep. How hard is it when we are training tons of hours to get good consistent sleep, to get that nutrition, how we want it. We always think, oh, I'm gonna fix this or I'm gonna do that later. Well, no, now the training is backed off. You're at home more often. Make the sleep how you want it. Get the nutrition right. And then once those are dialed in perfectly, you already know how to do all the training. So as that training ramps back up and life returns more to normal, your nutrition and sleep will be dialed in and you will be a better athlete once you start training because of it. Number 6, work on strength, which includes balance and imbalances. So if you've been putting off yoga, do that. Single leg exercises are fantastic. And because of that, they don't need a lot of heavy weights. You're gonna feel it if you've got imbalances, but just make sure that you work in all 3 planes of motion. So an example of that is to do single leg forward lunges, then do single leg side lunges, and then do single leg rotational lunges. And depending on which side is weaker, you may have to do more reps with one side to strengthen that side. But if you think about it, when you're running, how often are your legs on the ground at the same time? They're not. So you've got to work on your legs individually. All right, let's sum up your coronavirus triathlete 6-pack. Number 1, recover. Mentally, physically, but not so much that you lose all that hard-earned fitness. Number 2, learn a new skill. Number 3, you got to readjust your goals. Stay focused. Number 4, visualize yourself racing coronavirus-free and racing fast. Number 5, dial in that nutrition and sleep. 6, strength, whether that's yoga, single leg exercises, working on balance and imbalances. All of these things will make you a better triathlete. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have something that's helpful during this coronavirus social isolation time, please put a comment below to help the other viewers. I'd really appreciate it. I know they would as well. And until next week, Nico and I hope you stay healthy out there. Hey, what's the matter with you? Don't you have a triathlon you should be training for? Not anymore. It got canceled, so I quit. Oh, since when are you the quitting kind? I got in amazing shape and I couldn't cross the finish line. I just don't see the point anymore. So your race got canceled. There are greater tragedies in the world. I wanted to cross that finish line. I wanted Mike Wiley to say that you're an Ironman, to prove that I was somebody. You are so full of crap. Look at you. You're 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, and you got barely a speck of athletic ability. And you trained for this triathlon, and you are in amazing shape. In this lifetime, you don't got to prove nothing to nobody except yourself. And if you haven't done that by now, after what you've been through, it ain't gonna never happen. And I guarantee not a week will go by in your life that you won't regret letting this virus get the best of you. Do you hear me clear enough?